right, so we kind of teased it on social media the past couple days on who we might be having on, and I told you guys we would have an IFL championship team representative here tonight, and we are joined by the owner, team president, and general manager of the Massachusetts Pirates, Mr. Jawad Yatim. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Just glad to be still competing and trying to win another championship and just taking it one day at a time though. This extra, this bye week, which is, whatnot, we didn't have this last time. It's kind of nice to help guys recover, you know, uh, kind of recoup a little bit. We'd been on the road the last couple weeks and to just be able to catch our breath a little bit. So, yeah, just ready to turn it up a notch, get back to work, and go compete for a championship.
Absolutely. Thank you once again, Krish, for joining us as well. I can't have anybody from the Pirates on without having Krish here. It just wouldn't be right. So really
So I got
appreciate
Chris.
you.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you
Good
too,
to
man.
see you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So obviously we invited you on because you're about to go play in the championship game. But I have to ask you, I mean, you're about to rematch with Kevin Guy and the Arizona Rattlers. Last time in 2021, as we just spoke about, you won your first IFL championship against them. What's it feel like going back up against an old rival, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, I would say certainly a rival of ours. It's it's always great. I think the league is at its best when these two teams are going at it in critical moments, and I think two great organizations. I'll never have anything bad to say about them over there. Great ownership group. Obviously, a great head coach. The winningest head coach in arena football, and just a well put product. Well put. Football team, and it'll be very competitive. And one thing we know for sure is that they're going to be ready to go. They're going to be well prepared. They're going to be energetic. They're going to play with a lot of enthusiasm, and we got to match that energy, but we'll be ready to rock. It'll be extremely entertaining game, and we love competing against them. It's like I said, they're a great organization, and great wants to play against great, and we're excited about it.
Yeah, Jawad, first off, this is amazing, right, to see this run. Not surprising to me. I expected this all along. But, one unit I kind of want to ask about is the secondary, right, with Diddy, CJ, Cyrus, Devin, and Matt. Those guys, they finally found their stride. I think one of the most underrated acquisitions for the organization this year was the hiring of Coach Fred Griggs as the DB coach. Talk about kind of the spark Coach Griggs brought to staff.
Coach Griggs has done a great job. Just brings a different perspective coming from a different organization, and playing against a lot of the opponents that we played against, and he brings a different perspective. And that's one thing our staff has is a bunch of different perspectives and maybe views on different coverages, schemes, play designs and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, Coach Griggs has done a wonderful job. Coach Miller has done an absolutely great job. Coach Parker, has done a great job with the defensive front. Even our good friend Toby Johnson has been helping us out. Helping out with the defensive front as well. But yeah, and another similar signing. Just kind of from a late season standpoint. Just kind of coming from, that Duke City, organization and whatnot. But, Coach Kent, Coach Robert Kent, we brought on around the same time as Coach Griggs and Coach Kent has done a wonderful job, helping out that offense and Alejandro and the quarterback group and Bones over there. And Bones has done, terrific, man. But Bones has turned it up a little bit here, towards the end of the year and in the playoffs. Yeah, we look forward to just, continuing to get better. We're still, I think we can still perform better. I think there's still things that we can clean up, and yeah, we hope to do so. And but we'll be ready to go. We work hard over here, and we're excited.
So I have to ask you about the move of venues this offseason. Obviously, you're now playing in the Zonga Center. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, sir. The song is center. The song is center. So,
Right, right.
yeah, we moved to Lowell, from the city of Worcester, and it's been a great move. I mean, definitely, a wrench, I'd say, and just your operational flow, just your normal operational flow, and but yeah, I mean, not a standard off season when you gotta, just pick up operation in one city, move it to another. You don't have, 4 months before a season, you don't have a medical partner, you don't have any housing for your players, no practice facility, you don't have any food partners. You're just really kind of starting from scratch in a new place. So kudos to the operation team. Tia, Brandon, Coach Stell, myself. And everybody involved. We had no choice but to be ready for opening night, and we did that. And we're just still not complete with the season yet, but we hope to finish strong here. And yeah, but that is an underrated aspect of this season that we don't really talk about much. But yeah, it is a whole new situation for us. New partners, new people that we're working with, and you just you got to adjust on the fly.
I saw yesterday you were at New York Giants training camp. Kind of organizationally, what were some things that stood out to you about that whole experience?
I mean, I would say the structure of practice. That there's really no wasted time. Everything is so efficient. The flow is so efficient. They get in a lot of reps in a short period of time. Nothing is really wasted out there. From a timing standpoint, and just from as I said, an efficiency standpoint, just very efficient. It looks like they got everything that they wanted to out of practice yesterday. I was happy to be there.
Absolutely. So obviously, with the venue change, you guys have had a great run this season. I'm curious, how valuable is this championship run for kind of building a fan base out there in I'm sorry, what was the city name again?
Lowell, Massachusetts.
Lowell. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I mean, there's a lot of, I guess, benefits that come with obviously winning a championship, but from a brand awareness standpoint, just from building a fan base and just people, I guess, hearing about you. It's huge. I mean, more people are talking about you, more press is covering you. It's a national TV game on CBS Sports Network. So just the overall awareness, from that standpoint, it's big for the organization. We don't walk around thinking like that. We just want to go out, compete, and win a football game. But, there are things that do come with doing such, and winning a championship. And those are some of the nice things that do associate, with being in a big game like this and going out there and executing and whatnot and playing at a high level. I mean, people take notice and they respect it and they want to kind of see what you got going on and maybe come check out a game every now and then. But yeah, it's obviously nice, to be able to reap those benefits. But at the same time, we haven't done anything yet. We still, we're not done. That's for damn sure. We're not celebrating. So, we're just we got to get back to work and get ready to go.
One thing I noticed about you on a personal level is you travel a lot. I see you in New York, Miami Swim Week, Las Vegas. I think you took a off-season trip to another country at one point this season.
Are you telling everybody my business, Chris? What's going on, man?
But no, hey. I think overall,
I'm messing with you.
It's kind of.
They all got a purpose. Let me tell you that. Everywhere I go, there's a purpose there behind it.
Exactly.
So
for you, kind of, how important do you believe it's for young people to kind of travel and broaden their horizons?
I'm sorry. One more time. I missed that.
Oh, how important do you believe it's for young people to broaden their horizons and kind of travel and see the world?
I mean, it's obviously nice to, kind of going back to perspectives, see different places, experience different things, get different perspectives. Maybe it can, ultimately change your mindset over time or whatnot when it comes to different things. But I mean, a lot of the time I'd just rather be home, to be honest with you. I mean, like I said, I'm not really going many places just to hang out. So, there's always a purpose behind it. And obviously in season, you're on the road a lot. I mean, we're on the road, every other week, and we don't have any bus rides. Everywhere we go, we're flying. We're kind of we're on an island here, out here in New England. So, when it comes to the arena football, landscape. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to travel, but at the same time, you're traveling with a purpose, and you want to make sure that you execute and you get what you get done. You get what you want to get done, and take full advantage of being out on the road. And one thing about our organization, we're well traveled. We know how to travel. We know how to execute on the road. We know how to set up shop in different cities, and we're accustomed to it. So in moments like this where you got to be able to perform, in places nowhere near New England, I mean, we're ready for it. So.
Obviously, you kind of touched on it a minute ago. You are kind of out there on an island as far as the IFL landscape. So I have to ask, I mean, I'm sure fans want to know, was there any consideration at all to potentially changing leagues long term, or are you just kind of waiting out an East Coast expansion in the IFL?
I mean, we're happy with where we're at. We love the IFL. And it's an extremely, well put together league. The ownership groups are all, fantastic. I mean, the organizations are extremely strong, and it's grown year in and year out. So, we're happy with where we're at. But to be honest with you, man, I mean, our only focus right now is next weekend and trying to lock in this championship.
As it should be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you personally, from like an executive standpoint, looked at the move for yourself to move to the NFL, maybe become part of a front office for an NFL team? Or are you kind of happy developing talent here in Massachusetts?
It's minor league sports, and the players aren't the only ones trying to move up. I mean, you got interns trying to move up, get other opportunities. Your front office, your coach staff, your players, and I'm no different. I'm trying to, just continue to build a resume, gain experience, and I would like to move up to the NFL, whenever that may happen. But I'm ready for it. I feel like I belong, and I think it'll happen, at some point. But like I said, right now, I just want to be in Arizona and lock in, and another championship, and just have a second to breathe a little bit and kind of sit back and reflect and just kind of relax for a second. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So I got a question that kind of is same in that same line of questioning there. Obviously you talk about moving up yourself. So, I thought it was very admirable earlier this season when your team started to have a little bit of a slump there late in the season. And you guys seemed to pull out of it when it mattered the most, when it came to the time to play the playoff game. So I'm curious, like, how do you approach a situation like that as a general manager? I mean, when do you know to kind of hit the panic button, for lack of a better term, and when do you know to kind of stand pat and let your guys work through it?
I mean, there is a party that has to trust, the moves that you've made and the people that you brought in, and understand that it is a process. But our formula here, is young with high ceilings, and typically that associates with inexperience. But one thing that you do have control over, from an organizational standpoint is the reps that guys get, and the experience that they garner here. How receptive they are to it, how they take it, and how they develop over time. I mean, that's, on them, as well as the staff and whatnot. But, they control a lot of how they do develop over time. But, the way our formula is we're kind of built to peak, towards the end of the season, because, at times, I mean, actually, we're still a very young group this year. Different position groups are a little more veteran oriented, but for, the overall picture, especially on defense, we're a very young group. But the way we like to do it is, like I said, young with high ceilings, and then you hope by playoff time, by the end of the year, that they've garnered enough experience to be able to execute at a veteran type level. And at that point, we feel like our ceiling may be higher than some of these other teams, and we hope that takes over, and guys show up when they need to, but yeah, it seems, that we're clicking at the right time. But at the same time, I mean, we finished 8-8, but we're probably about 5 plays away from being a 13-win, a 13-win ball club. So, we knew what we had in that locker room. And these past 2 games, they didn't do anything for us other than just, that, it confirmed that we are who we think we are. And, but we never wavered, never lost confidence. We know we know who we are, and then we're ready to go, put that on display, next week. So.
One young player, kind of staying on that subject, that I'm really high on. I'm sure you're high on him too. Dante Demons. He hasn't really gotten a chance to play a lot this year. What has he kind of shown you behind the scenes?
I mean, Dante is, physically, just well put together. Big frame. We had Martavis Bryant here, and I tell him that, from a movement standpoint, that's just kind of, from his style of play, I see the similarities there. But at the same time, he was one of our more recent signings. He hasn't got much experience. There's still, a process there, of him just, picking up, the system and getting comfortable with the game. But he, in my opinion, he's a hell of a football player. We look forward to seeing what he can turn into. But yeah, we got a good group. That whole wide receiver group is very strong and deep. More veteran oriented, but we've had some great young guys come through. That group this season, and Dante's no different. But yeah, I mean, Dante's a well put together athlete. He's got a great attitude, and he's a great kid, and we look forward to seeing him develop.
Former Philadelphia Star, actually. So, he didn't get a chance to play for the Stars, unfortunately, but I'm glad to see he's getting an opportunity with the Pirates. But very excited about him.
We've had some Stars players who are Ahmad Dixon. Ahmad Dixon was a solid star over there. Made some great plays out there and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, we're excited, man. We're not done working yet, though. We know we still got a long way to go, and like I said, they're going to come out, well prepared with a lot of energy, and we got to match that.
Absolutely. So one of my final questions, Jimmy Robinson has been lighting it up all season long, probably one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the league. How important is he to your game plan overall and to your team overall as kind of a leadership, lead by example type guy?
He's absolutely huge. And the production says everything, just from a usage standpoint, and then just from an overall, productivity standpoint, he's been the best running back in the game, the last 2 years. He's one of the best kick returners in the game, and then, just in my opinion, I'd say, he's probably the toughest player in the game, just to, be utilized at the amount that he's utilized, and to be, as durable as he is. It's truly impressive. I mean, you're not talking about a kid who's 6'1", 225. I mean, so, just with his stature and his durability and his usage all combined, I mean, it's impressive, but, with him, I mean, you don't have to block a play perfectly, for it to, for him to be effective. He's able to, for the most part, make the first guy miss, and then he's so explosive. And, he actually played receiver in college, so he's got, he's effective in the receiving game, and yeah, he's going to stick his nose in there and block for Dro. So, he's a hell of a player. He's a great kid. We're happy to have him. And then, we're looking forward to seeing what he does next weekend.
But, Jawad, I appreciate you coming on and talking to us today. My final question for you is, when you look at from an attendance perspective and a business perspective this year, how would you assess the first year in Lowell compared to previous years at the DCU?
It was actually great. I mean, when you take into account the fact that you typically, when, in a normal season, you'll start selling in July. And by selling, I mean, like, season ticket deposits and stuff like that, sponsorships and whatnot. I mean, you start selling before, that your previous season has ended. We didn't get a chance to really start selling until November, at the end of November. So to get those few months, just obviously operational flow, I guess, so to speak, from, that July time period throughout the fall. I mean, that'll be big going into year 2 in Lowell. But I think, for, the energy was great in the building, and for us, just kind of, adjusting on the fly. Everything was extremely smooth. I mean, there are things that we certainly want to clean up and that we will, get right to, once the season is over. But, we love Lowell, and the people of Lowell, and we appreciate all the support. And at the end of the day, we're still the Massachusetts Pirates. So, we still represent Massachusetts, all New England, and yeah, so, we hope to bring it back home and that's really, that's really what it is, man. That's really where my mind is at. That's all I'm thinking about. And, I really haven't had, much time to kind of venture outside of that. So, but we're ready to go. The guys are fired up. They're excited. They understand what type of opportunity this is for everybody. And, you guys just have to tune in.
Can't wait for the game. This not this weekend, but next weekend. Going to be a great game, I imagine. I can only imagine a lot of points will be scored. But wanted to thank you for your time. Really appreciate you coming on here. So if you're watching, definitely make sure you go subscribe to the Indoor Football League YouTube channel. Catch all the games. Kind of get yourself caught up on what the Pirates have been doing this season, and then tune in to CBS Sports in a couple weeks here because it's going to be a great game, like I said. So thank you for your time once again. We won't take up any more of it tonight. And
no, it's a pleasure. No, I appreciate you guys having me, man. It's it's great catching up, and I thank you for the time and thank you for the coverage. So, I appreciate it, man. Most definitely.
Absolutely, anytime. And hopefully we can have you back on in a couple weeks right after you get another ring.
That'd be lovely. That would be lovely. I'll tell you that much. I that would be lovely, and I'd be happy to come back on. Maybe I'll have a couple friends with me. We'll chop it up. Most definitely.
Sounds great. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the time, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Yes, sir. Take care now.
Game changer.